Hey, I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Got a bunch of great peppers from Lonestar Mastiff Farms in Texas. Great company. They grow great peppers. I looked at the peppers that they sent, and the first one I'm going to eat from this is the RB003. And the reason I'm choosing this is one of the nicest, nastiest looking examples of an RB. Look at how pimply and bumpy this pepper is. It's just absolutely incredible. So I'm going to cut this thing open and give it a good look. Turn my phone off. What the RB0, Ross Barber is the one who created this. He's an Australian grower. And what this is a Carolina Reaper that's been crossed with a 7-pot brain strain. So I'm going to cut this thing open. We're going to give it a look. And I'm going to take a picture for Instagram because this looks like such an amazing example. And, oh, wow. Wow, you can't believe how pungent the aroma is. And it is very oily. Look at how beautiful this crosscut is. You know what if I should? The problem is, you do it this way, you're gonna get it much clearer. Look at that. Just an amazing pepper. The funny thing about the RB003 is that this wall is a little bit thinner than the last one I tried, but the aroma is pungent. Gosh, what a pretty pepper though, huh? Now we're gonna do a teaser. When you look at that, that's an RB003, a Carolina Reaper that's been crossed with a 7-pot brain strain. And this is a gorgeous example. Come over to the main channel. Come over to the channel and watch the full video. I'm Johnny Scoville. You know what? Here, take a look at the inside of that. Maybe that'll get you to come over and look at it. Look at that thing. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. Hot right away. It's kind of encouraging to me because the flavor is similar to the other RB003s I've had. So I'm starting to get a beat on the flavor of this pepper. And it's growing on me a little bit. Here's the thing about that pepper. It is gorgeous. That pepper was fruity, bitter, and floral throughout the entire pepper. And though bitter and floral combined are, to me, is just, it's hard to even hear myself saying this because when I started the channel, floral and bitter made me want to throw up. It just is what it is. And I've gotten to a point where I really, really love bitter and floral together. If you had told me when I started the channel that there was a day that I was going to love floral peppers, I would never have believed you. The burn is on the inside on the cheeks, on the inside of my mouth, on the cheeks and my throat, and a little bit on the very tip of my tongue. But it's just a great burn, and it's just a spectacular pepper. Visually, it might be, I don't know, it's startling looking. It's one of those really a fantastic pepper. The heat has a pretty aggressive burn. It's not like a ghost pepper burn. where it starts really slow. You're almost wondering if it's not going to be a hot one, and then it comes out of nowhere. That ain't this pepper. This pepper is pretty hot right from the jump. However, once it does get going, it's a very, very even climb. It's very abrupt and sort of violent at the beginning. Hits you kind of, it's like an assault. It happens kind of fast, but then it's very, very even as it builds, if that makes any sense. It's peaked for the heat. You know, here's the thing. These peppers you can buy. You can go to the description box and buy these peppers right now. If you do, you have to understand you're going to have a different experience than I'm having. I tend to make it look really good and really fun and really delicious because it really is really fun, good, and delicious. But when you're just starting out, it's going to be a little bit different for you. So if you're new to the chili game and you're excited and enthusiastic, I'm excited and enthusiastic for you, but be careful. You're going to want to make sure you prep well before every time you eat something super hot. And you can always eat more, you know what I mean? Start with a half a pepper or a small chunk of the pod, just a sliver of the pepper. And that'll give you a chance of tasting the flavor and getting an idea of the heat without jumping in with a full commitment. You know what I mean? But what a pepper. Super hot. Non-chili head, you know, it'd be such a problem. If you're a chili head, this is going to be like a 9 or a 10. You know, there are going to be some people that'll call it an 8. But it's a wicked hot pepper. I mean, it's a very hot pepper. And it's not as hot as a primatale, but visually, have you seen a prettier pepper? There, you know, to me, it's right up there with the bubble gums as far as just looking at it and just going, wow, like jaw-dropping, wow. It's right up there with a bubble gum, if you ask me. All right, let me have a couple funny stats I wanted to read you. Bizarre things from the world. Hang on, here we are. Boy, I wanted to read that one, but it would just been a little bit too weird. Edgar Allan Poe married his first cousin. Did you know that? Poe married Virginia Clem when he was 26 and she was only 13. She died 11 years later, and Poe is often found in the winter sitting at her tomb, almost frozen. Do you know that all yeast leavened bread was once a type of sourdough? Did you guys know that? Before the 19th century, they didn't understand that it wasn't the yeast itself giving the bread the sour taste. With advancements in microscopes, they were able to produce strains of yeast without lactobacillus. It's pretty advanced for the time, right? The U.S. Constitution, a U.S. constitutional amendment was proposed to rename the country the United States of Earth. Did you guys know that? The House Representative Lucas Miller from Wisconsin proposed the alteration in the year 1893. And the reasoning, it's probable for the republic to grow to the point where every country on the planet was part of it. So that's why they were thinking that way. Wow, this is crazy. There is a town in Nebraska called Minowi. Minowi is the only town in the United States with an official population of, you ready? 1. Rudy and Elise Eiler were only the two residents of the town until 2004 when Rudy died. And now Elsie is the sole citizen of Minowi, acting as the mayor, even giving herself a liquor license to work as a bartender. It's kind of, you know, that's a story that sounds possible in the 1800s, but in this day and age. Okay, a U.S. town had a 3-year-old mayor. the small town of Dorset, Minnesota, where a new mayor is picked every 2 years by drawing names out of a hat. A 3-year-old named Robert Tufts was elected mayor in 2015. We're going to stop there. Listen, be kind to somebody today. Go have fun. Do something exciting. But be kind to somebody. Tell someone you love them. In the description box, you're going to see a link for Lonestar Mastiff Farms. Great pepper grower. Just a very cool company. Please check them out and tell them I sent you. In the bottom, you're going to see my son, Johnny Scoville Jr. and the Lifeboat. Check them out. And up on top, you're going to see pepperology and all the crazy challenges that I've done since I started this channel. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the Heat.